We got another author that doesn't have an author page called Blackbird 5154. Yes, so their SCP is what we're reading next, called Space Nowadays. Looks like another short one. I appreciate that a lot. After that whole 1 hour reading, having a bunch of short ones in a row is kind of nice, you know? Okay, object class safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-2154 is to be contained in the observatory situated in the secured area DN633 with access granted to level 3/2154 and 4/2154 personnel. Description. SCP-2154 is an optical telescope situated in an observatory near Antarctica, Canada. Close examination of its components revealed the manufacturing technology is consistent with those used in analogous projects during the 1940s. Information about the elements allowing the anomalous characteristics data expunged. Using SCP-2154, it appears to be possible to observe celestial bodies in a state coinciding with the time of observation. This eliminates the limit factor of the speed of light, which in ordinary circumstances leads to a substantial delay in receiving the visual information from remote parts of space. Oh, okay. At the moment, the data received from SCP-2154 is undergoing active examination, is being compared to modern scientific models. And here we have Dr. Spencer working with SCP-2154. So basically, it shows you how the plants are correctly. So if, because remember, as we know, a lot of the planets we look, all the stars we see, some of them are like light years away, and the position that they are in, from our perspective, are not precise. They're not correct, and some of the stars we see might be long dead, but we just don't know. So this thing actually shows you which star is where exactly, and which star does not exist anymore. Which you could technically argue. You could technically argue like, well, that could be something that could be potentially done in our world as well. So maybe that's not fully anomalous, but at the same time, for that type of technology, it's going to take a couple. I would say it would take a long time for us to have that. A telescope that can tell you how, like, precise how the stars are supposed to be, that's going to take a while. Attention clearance 4/2154 personnel. The fact that you are able to see this text verifies your security clearance and access to the documentation below. The music is a bit loud on my side now. Here we go. The data received from SCP-2154 significantly differs from the modern scientific concept of space. Specifically, 72% of all cataloged astronomical objects are not present in observation made through SCP-2154. Two hypotheses can be made based on this. Number one, for some reason the number of stars are decreased substantially while their light travels through Earth. Or number two, there is an opaque matter that obstructs the view of a considerable number of space objects. Regardless of which hypothesis is correct, the data received from SCP-2154 demands significant reconsideration of modern astrophysical concepts. And star cluster in Moseros constellation, first shot taken with telescope, second with SCP-2154. And let's give it a good compare and contrast here. Let's see. So here we have the NG-2215. So here, as you can see, some of the stars are still active, but a lot of them are blacked out. Yeah. Interesting. Addendum 1. Dr. Spencer discovered that the degree of star visibility in galaxies M59, M60, and M89 in Virgo constellation is fluctuating. Based on this, he concluded that in these areas there is a cloud of matter here in after -A, which absorbs light, making direct observation impossible. -A is in constant motion and its surface has expanded by %. Since first observation. Later, -A was detected in other areas of space. The analysis of the phenomenon dynamics as well as projections of stellar object movement has shown that the influence of this matter of under visibility does not completely explain the deviation between the real and hypothesized quantity. Thus, both hypotheses have been proven correctly, specifically that a fraction of the stars is concealed by an unknown matter and another fraction has indeed disappeared. The correlation between these two factors, as well as the actual size of dash A, is currently being approximated. Considering that in recent years the phenomenon has already appeared in galaxies within 3.6 megaparsecs of Earth, Dr. Spencer has proposed reclassifying dash A as a separate Keter class object. And here we have NGC 4458, NGC 4461 in the Virgo cluster. Okay. We had a couple like very simple things now. The Clover one, this one, very simple SCPs. Very simple ideas, but like, you know, still cool. Like that's like, and that's I can imagine like the space nowadays is like something like, you know, this guy, this person, pardon me, probably like, you know, laid at their garden, looked up, saw the stars, and was like, what if some of these stars are like long dead, and we can actually tell which ones are like non-existent anymore? And maybe that's how they got the idea of this SCP, you know? It's a simple Silver, what are you doing? Shaking ass on stream, what are you doing? How dare you, Silver? You little naughty. But yeah, like I said, I think it must have been like a simple idea. And sometimes, you know, something is good. Something is good to just have an SCP where it's just like, it's not an all like eldritch horror or anything like crazy. So I'm glad that sometimes you just have like SCP that's like the stars, but we can actually tell which ones don't exist anymore. Thank you, Blackbird.